Hello everyone. This video is how do you get onto the Francis Marion website and log into Blackboard and then create an assignment, how you could create a table of contents, just kind of working around Blackboard. If you, and I would advise again everybody to use Firefox for Blackboard. If you are using Internet Explorer or Safari, I would advise against that. There are many known issues or problems with Blackboard interacting with Internet Explorer and Safari. If you're using Chrome, I believe Blackboard has said use at your own risk. So we are going to the Francis Marion website. This is our university website, and I would ask all of you to log into the Patriot portal. So you all have your login and your password, which is the same password that you use for your email address. So once you log in, I don't like to save my passwords, and you will get this link. So if you click on Blackboard here, it will take you automatically to Blackboard. And under Blackboard, you will have all the classes you're teaching this semester. Now, for some of you, you might see just a whole list of classes. And if you click on this button here, let me go back. I know I do things a little fast, but you see this gear button here. If you click on it, you will be able to check this group by term, which makes it a lot more easier to look at when you have your classes grouped by your semester. So I'm going to enter my Business Analytics MBA 710 class. This is how my Blackboard class looks like. I have essentially, as faculty, you'll have access to this control panel. And normally you'll have a home page and you'll have a contents page. What I normally do is use this contents page to build my contents here. So for example, if you wanted to post a file, a PowerPoint file or a Word document to Blackboard, you could click on Build Content, click on Item. You can name the item. Let's call it your first lecture in PowerPoint. It could be any lecture you have. It could be linear programming chapter 3, right? And so you can write a description of that here. This material here is the lecture on linear programming for chapter 3. And you can go to browse your computer, which is what I use. I click browse the computer, go to where I have my lectures, all right, and I will be able to then select the file. And I normally like to track the number of views, which tells me which students have clicked and used this file and which haven't, and click submit. And what you'll find is that appears right here, right? For those of you who like to create folders, there is content folder. I would advise you to use this content folder, and you could create a folder, test folder, and I like to always track the number of views. This here allows you to restrict. I don't normally do that, but it allows you to restrict the date and time of the folder. People can see it after a certain time, date and time, and then until a certain date and time. And that creates your test folder here right now. So you'll notice that I've created a bunch of test folders here, and in this test folder I have told students that I've given them a deadline of when they should access this folder, when they should submit their homework, what chapters they should look at, and then you will see the contents of this folder it comes here, right? So here are the contents of the folder, which tells me here's a PowerPoint slide which I've downloaded, here's an Excel file. And in my case, because I have a lot of recorded lectures, I normally have a web link for all these lectures, a YouTube web link, which actually takes them through the whole lecture. Okay. Now, how would you do an assessment? So your grades come here. If you go to Control Panel, you can go to this Grade Center and this Full Grade Center. You can click on it. I'm not clicking on it right now because this is a full-fledged class and you will probably end up seeing student grades, and I don't want to violate any FERPA rules there. But you can do a bunch of assessments here. You can do a survey. And normally what I do is I do an assignment if it is a file that students have to submit. If it's a paper they have to submit in Word or Excel or PowerPoints, if they have to submit a presentation on PowerPoint, you can go here and you can set up, say, project or assignment 1, give them instructions here. If there's a file they need to download, they can select that particular file, right? So here is a practice. I've given them the set of practice questions which are right here. You can set a due date on when this is supposed to be due and what time. Please remember that due date does not stop them from submitting it later. It only marks it as late. If you want to limit them, you can make the display until a certain time, and after which they cannot actually see it. You can give them details on submission, whether it's individual submission or a group submission. You can allow them multiple attempts. I allow them unlimited attempts until the deadline for submission. If it's a written paper, you can check submissions for plagiarism using Safe Assign. And this allows, so if this is checked, you can allow students to view Safe Assign the reports, and you can exclude submissions from institutional and global reference databases. If you have rubrics, here are some grading options here, and these are options on how you want the grades to be displayed. So this is a basic 8-9 minute video on essentially how to access Blackboard and how to load your files and create an assignment on Blackboard.